Hey everyone, if you're like me, you have way too many passwords to keep track of properly. My name's Ken, and for my own sanity, I created a dead simple, low-tech password manager that might appeal to some of you as much as it does to me. Stay tuned and I'll introduce you to the SphinxGadget. Alright, I have here 3 SphinxGadgets of different sizes and colors, all of which you can find on SphinxGadgets.etsy.com. Let me show you how to use one to create a new password. You see the colored side characters here on the outside of each of the 4 wheels? These need to be lined up to spell out, say, the first 4 characters of the website you're visiting. So if I were going to create a password for the popular Amazon.com, I'd rotate the letters to spell out A, M, A, Z, like that. And now you look through the viewfinder to see the characters that will become part of your new password. The most straightforward way is to simply orient the gadget so you can read the logo, like this, and then just read the 6 characters across the middle from left to right. In this case, I see E93, single quote, QH. Most important are the 4 characters in the very middle, because they will always contain a digit, an uppercase character, and a special symbol, like the hashtag, ampersand, punctuation marks, etc. These characters will generally always satisfy password policies that are required. Of course, if you want to be different, you can decide on an alternate strategy. Maybe line the side characters in reverse and read right to left, or if you want a longer password, you can use a couple extra rim characters on the outer ring. You always need to be consistent about how you do this because you don't want to confuse yourself. Now you'll need to add a word or two, a few characters that are going to be common for all your passwords, your master password, so to speak. In this case, I'll use our favorite cat's name, Hamilton. That's 8 characters long, and combined with the 6 characters from the SphinxGadget, gives me a nice long 14-character password that should be good enough to cover even the most strict site policies. After you've changed a site to use a password that's partially generated from the SphinxGadget, you can dependably recall the password by dialing up the domain name again and adding your master password to the Sphinx characters. I like to call this technique password splitting. It combines something you have and something you know into one password. It makes passwords secure and dependable to recall, but perhaps a little more awkward to type in because it's not all coming from your head. So what kinds of passwords do I think you should use the SphinxGadget for? All password managers should help make your life easier, not harder. So use it for whatever you have the patience for. Infrequently used sites are great candidates for the SphinxGadget. Something like TurboTax that you visit a few times a year is a good example. Sites that you want to avoid putting in your browser's password cache in order to be a little more secure are good candidates. By all means, you can still use the SphinxGadget for passwords that you do want your browser to remember for you, because it'll come in handy if you ever need to access that site from an alternate computer or browser. And there are other sites that you casually encounter as you're browsing the internet that you just know you're going to forget about, that you don't want to be creative enough to think up a new, memorable password for. When you're in that situation, you should avoid the temptation of reusing a password just to get past that sign-up page. I don't recommend using it for your primary PC's login or your single sign-on. If you're a software developer like me, that's a password you type dozens of times a day. You just want that to be easy to type, and you never forget it anyway. Alright, every SphinxGadget is like a snowflake. It has a different set of code characters that's tied to an identifier on the back. So if you need a replacement, you can request this number again. If you like, the identifier can be personalized somewhat. It's 5 characters and up to 6 digits. Finally, let me just throw out a few more selling points. If your SphinxGadget is lost or stolen, your passwords are not actually revealed because you've kept your master password a secret, right? Don't write it down. That's the point. Now you just need to remember one thing. There are no software bits to install or upgrade or any worry about compatibility problems with any particular browser or OS. And because this isn't a network-connected device, you really have no fear of it being hacked. Keep it on your desk near your computer or in your laptop bag. It's something you can slowly add passwords to over time as you need to. I've been using one for a couple years now, and I've avoided countless password resets that would have forced me to make up more passwords I won't remember. I have no trail of sticky notes with passwords strewn around my workspace, and all my passwords are unique. When I need to rotate a password, the SphinxGadget can help me with that too. I'll show you that in another video. If this feels like a password management style that could work for you, I hope you'll give it a try. I'm interested in your thoughts and questions, so please like or comment on this video below, and go to SphinxGadgets.etsy.com to get yours today.